All right, it has been a wild, fun tournament thus far, and we continue it tonight with another deciding game to finish off round two. So, welcome to the ballpark. There's Robbie Wartberg. Hi, Robbie. So, welcome to the ballpark, or welcome to the channel, whatever. So, the other night, Friday night, we saw the 1894 Baltimore Orioles finally take the series against the 1885 Chicago White Stockings, 3 games to 2. And Ned Hanlon's Orioles waiting for the outcome of tonight's game between the 1912 Boston Red Sox and the 1884 Providence Grays. These two are tied at 2 apiece. So settle in. It's going to be fun. I don't know that anything is going to equal that Orioles White Stocking series. It's been wild all the way around. Already set to go on round 3 will be the 1908 Cleveland Naps and the 1907 Chicago Cubs. So waiting for this, they're playing some warm-up games. As was a leading up to the World Series. That was something that was actually fairly common. Um, there was one time where the National League and American League, they didn't end the season at the same time. The National League, for instance, would want to play all the way the regular season, schedule games all the way through to Columbus Day in October. And there were a couple instances where the Philadelphia Athletics had to wait for the National League season to end. And so they would have sort of a warm-up games of the World Series against, all-star squads and stuff like that. Ty Cobb frequently on those, as Cobb's last World Series was in 1909, and for the rest of his great career was never in another. So they're waiting, and I am told that the 1907 Chicago Cubs are playing some warm-up matches against the 1906 Chicago White Sox, who defeated them in the World Series, and the 1908 Naps doing some games with the 1907 Detroit Tigers. So these two teams will be warmed up and ready to go, and let's get to it. And yeah, there he is. That's who I've been waiting for. Cousin Ken Castro, he says yes, waiting all day. So as have I, brother, as have I. So looking forward to this one, and let's get to it. All right, so we're going to leave Providence as the human controlled player since Cousin Ken is in here. All right, we're using Huntington Avenue grounds because we were just unable to find, any good photographs, obviously for the Providence Grays home park. But that said, it's still a lot of fun. So Smokey Joe Wood will take the hill tonight. Unless Cousin Ken objects, it's going to be Charlie Sweeney, unless we do a little bit of switching around right now here. Radbourne could make the start. I don't think he's pitching on short rest. No, he's not. So we're going to let Cousin Ken decide what he would like the Providence Grays to do. Old Hoss for sure. All right. And Old Hoss it will be. So there we go. Last minute change. And we're ready to go here. As Cousin Ken has said that the 1912 Red Sox will win it all, but he's going to have a little conflict of interest here as his favorite 19th century team, the 1884 Providence Grays. So this will be a fun one. And let's get to it. And again, thank you guys for hanging in. That battle between the Orioles and the White Stockings, those 5 games, well, 4 of the 5 games were amazing. The 5th game was actually tame with a 10-6 Baltimore Orioles injury. Anyhow, to the park we go. All right, the starting defense for the 1884 Providence Grays. We're playing this at South End Grounds. In left field, Cliff Carroll. In center, Paul Hines. In right, Paul Radford. At first base, Joe Start. At second, Jack Farrell. At short, Arthur Irwin. And at the hot corner, Jerry Denny. Catching as usual, Barney Gilligan, and pitching, Old Hoss Radbourn. All right, leading it off here for the 1912 Boston Red Sox, world champion Boston Red Sox, defeated a powerful Giant squad in a very hotly contested World Series, which we've replayed on this channel, I believe earlier in the year, but Cousin Ken didn't get the, oh, so you already put, it's too late, we're in the game now, I can't, well, actually, I guess I could switch it up. Let's try it. Let me see if I can fix that, since no pitch has been thrown yet. So you're saying you want old Haas batting eighth and Radford ninth. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. We definitely can do that. It's not a problem. It's a weird little, I don't know what it is, why I have to keep doing this to open that, but that doesn't matter, because I guess I've been playing them out of order. All right, so. All right, let's do this computer lineup, and let's see, what are we doing here? We're batting Paul Radford ninth. Okay, and we're bringing in old Haas Radbourn to bat eighth. All right, looks like we're ready to go, and so what we're going to do, as I was about to say, is I think we're going to replay the 1912 World Series on Out of the Park Baseball at some point. I remember Cousin Ken saying, oh, I didn't realize that it was over, so that'll be one we'll revisit, but we have 1915 on the back burner. Philadelphia Phillies taking game one in 15 innings. And then also the 1971 World Series. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Ned McGreevy going to be starting again soon. So anyhow, here we go. The Gray Eagle, Tris Speaker, hitting .393 in this tournament with a home run and 4 runs batted in. The Gray Eagle waits for old Haas Radbourn, who really finishing his warm-up pitches, doesn't even need them. What's the weather like today at Huntington Avenue grounds? It is 47 degrees. It is clear, and the winds 13 miles per hour in from center field. So bundle up here at South End grounds. Enjoy the game, guys. Always happy to bring it to you. The 3-0 from Old Haas to Tris Speaker, and Speaker lays off. This ball high and inside, so ball 4. And old Haas Radbourn leads it off with a walk. Third baseman Larry Gardner now steps to the plate. Gardner hitting .407 with 2 runs batted in and a home run. So Radbourn bringing that spitball. Gardner, left-handed batter. Speaker, serious threat to steal. He stole 52 for the 1912 Red Sox. And Radbourn deals, throws over. Speaker dives back ahead of the Joe Start tag. Radbourn peers home once again. Barney Gilligan sets the target for him. Here is the wind and the pitch. And Gardner getting a nice bunt down. Proper tactics. Sacrifice successful, and Tris Speaker moves into scoring position for the Red Sox as Jake Stahl steps in. Red Sox first baseman hitting .285 runs batted in, including a home run. And Ken and Robbie saying hi to one another. All right, Radbourn ready to deal to Stahl. Here's the 0-2 to Jake. Spitball, and this one splits the middle of the plate and absolutely freezes Jake Stahl. So 2 outs, runner at second, and it brings up Duffy Lewis, the Boston left fielder, .259 in the tournament with 3 runs batted in. Radbourn lets it go now. The 1-2 pitch, fastball to Lewis, and Lewis swing and a miss, and that is the second strikeout for old Haas Radbourn. Side retired after 1/2 inning. It's the 1912 Red Sox nothing, and the 1884 Grays coming to bat. Clinton Park says, so this is some exhibition game for the 1912 Boston Red Sox against some amateur team. 1912 Boston needs practice before they get their butts or asses handed to them by the 1894 Orioles. Those Orioles had to fight. Yes, they definitely, that series against the White Stockings was amazing. All right, let's look at the starting defense for the 1912 Boston Red Sox. In left field, Duffy Lewis. In center, the Gray Eagle, Tris Speaker. in right, another Hall of Famer, Harry Hooper. Interesting about Harry Hooper, though, is looking at his record um, because he's on an all-time greats franchise in another baseball program that I'm using, actually specifically in baseball for Windows. They have him with the White Sox. And so for anybody that's making an all-time great franchise, you're going to run into players like Harry Hooper. He is a deserved Hall of Famer. However, while he spent most of his years with the Boston Red Sox, really his best years were with the Chicago White Sox. So something to think about. So when you see me playing the all-time White Sox in baseball for Windows, you'll see that Harry Hooper will be on the White Sox, and that is not an error. That is a conscious decision after consulting some resources, because I noticed playing with Harry Hooper as a with the Boston Red Sox, it's like, okay, where are those Hall of Fame numbers? He was a very good player. It was with the White Sox that he really blossomed. All right, anyhow, from first to third, Jake Stahl, Steve Yerkes, Heine Wagner, Larry Gardner catching, Bill Ruff Kerrigan, and pitching here in this deciding Game 5. So what a matchup. Old Hoss Radbourn against Smokey Joe Wood. And Walter Johnson, the big train himself, said in 1912, nobody throws harder than Smokey Joe Wood. That is high praise indeed. Paul Hines leads it off here. Hines having an excellent tournament for the Providence Grays, hitting .353. He's batted in 6 and a home run. Kerrigan sets the target. Smokey Joe to deal the 1-2 pitch. Change up to Hines. Chopper down to first. Jake Stahl will glove it and take it to the bag himself. So one quick out here in the Providence first, and it brings up first baseman Joe Start. Joe Start also having a superb series, both defensively and at the plate. Joe Start hitting a 368 in the tournament. Smokey Joe Wood to deliver the 2-1. Start swings, bounding ball to short. Heine Wagner up with it. On to Jake Stahl, and not in time. So Joe Start, we talked about him having an excellent tournament. We've seen Joe Start beat out a number of infield balls for a single. So, yeah, so you have Harry Hooper also with the White Sox in the franchise set. Makes absolute sense if you look at Baseball Reference. Harry Hooper, while I think of him with the Boston Red Sox, I now have to start thinking him as having really more deservedly as being on a White Sox all-time great team. And in fact, I sent some screenshots of the file that I used to our Red Sox fan, because he likes the idea that the Brooklyn Dodgers and the LA Dodgers have their own separate all-time great teams, as do the St. Louis Browns, Baltimore Orioles, New York Giants, San Francisco Giants, Washington Senators, Minnesota Twins. It's like just the coolest file. So I should have let Al know this is why Harry Hooper's with the White Sox, but he's going to be recreating that in, I guess, Action PC Baseball. All right. Here is Cliff Carroll. Carroll hitting .316, 2 runs batted in. Joe Start, aggressive leadoff first, 1 down. Smokey Joe Wood with the check of the runner at first. And he brings it home. There goes Joe Start. The throw down by Kerrigan. The slide. Joe Start getting in there head first. The right hand touching the bag. And Providence with one in scoring position now. And we've seen Joe Start move around the bases. So Cliff Carroll in earlier games. So very, very aggressive base running by this Providence Grays team. If they get on, they're going to run. All right, Cliff Carroll back in there now. And the 1-0 pitch. Curveball, rip and a miss. So that is 2 strikeouts. Smokey Joe Wood dropping the hammer. 2 away. Joe Start remains at second, and here's Barney Gilligan hitting .188 with 3 runs batted in. Smokey Joe Wood sets and fires the 0-1. Fastball swung on. Bounding ball to third. Larry Gardner with a long throw across the diamond, and that will retire the Grays and the side. Scoreless as we go to the second. So, Cousin, just if you can remember, I need to If you can't, just put up some sort of emoji. Just any one you pick will be fine. Because I've watched the chat through peripheral vision, and if I just see the word steal, that's usually going to be too late. Oh, man, thank you. He says enjoying a cold beverage and his favorite baseball and streamer. Ken, that means so much. Thank you. So very, very much. It really does. All right, back to game action here. Heine Wagner, Bill Kerrigan, and Harry Hooper will bat for the Red Sox here in the top of the second. Heine Wagner at a 296 clip with a run batted in this tournament. Wagner in 1912 was a 274 hitter, so overperforming, bringing it for the Red Sox when they need it. Old Haas has struck out 2 and walked 1. And here we go. Here's the 2-2. Wagner sends this to right field, and ranging back on it is Paul Radford, covering a little bit of territory here in the right pasture of Huntington Avenue grounds here. 1 up, 1 down for the catcher, Bill Kerrigan. Kerrigan and Tris Speaker were not friends, and believe it or not, it was based on religious differences. Tris Speaker, Protestant, Bill Kerrigan, a Catholic, and Speaker hated Catholics almost as much as he hated African Americans. But in the end of his life, or after his career, or whatever, toward the end, I think Tris Speaker softened a little bit, married a nice Irish Catholic girl. And back in the day, Speaker would have had to convert. So a little bit of, for those of us of the ancient expressions of faith. But Kerrigan and Speaker, no love lost there between those two. All right, Kerrigan hitting just 162 runs batted. And again, it was an unfortunate part of the times, that Catholics and Protestants hated each other as much here as they did in Ireland, but for different reasons. Radbourn deals to Kerrigan, the 1-1. Kerrigan swings lined, but right to Jack Farrell at second, and he takes between his 2 hands. So 2 away, Radbourn looking maybe for a second nice inning and looking for a 3 up, 3 down here as Harry Hooper now ready to bat. Hooper is hitting .333 with 3 runs batted in. And there's Nathaniel. Nathaniel. It is so good to see you, bud. Nathaniel, newest member of the family. So Nathaniel comes in on one more broadcast. He gets the coveted wrench. So, all right, back to it. Good to see you, Nathaniel, and can't wait till you come in some night and tell us that you have Action PC Baseball. By the way, Wednesday night, guys, I'll be doing the new baseball history collection will be coming out. So one of the broadcasts I'll be doing Wednesday, we'll be showing that off, and yeah, maybe just doing something with it. We'll see. So look for that. That'll be Wednesday night. We'll be broadcasting before then, but definitely looking forward to that. Steve Tate, who's a beta tester for it, has said it's a significant upgrade. So looking forward to that. All right, Hooper in the box. Radbourn on the 1-2, and Harry Hooper a rip and a miss. Old Hoss Radbourn has rung up 3. We are scoreless here as we go to the bottom of the second inning. All right, so again, welcome in. And here comes Jerry Denny, who I still hold. It sounds like such a modern baseball name when you have guys on here like Barney Gilligan. Right? I mean, just Jerry Denny sounds like he should be playing for some team in the 1960s. All right, Denny hitting 158 with a home run, 4 runs batted in for him. We are scoreless in the bottom of the second in this deciding Game 5. The 0-1 fastball from Wood. This one grounded hard to Steve Yerkes, and Yerkes drops the ball but corrals it and holds Jerry Denny on first, but that is going to be an E4. So first error for the Boston Red Sox. And if you remember, back in Game 4, the Boston Red Sox outpaced the Providence Grays in errors. So we're going to keep an eye on that tonight as well, as shortstop Arthur Irwin comes in. Also, the best hitting coming at the top of this lineup for the Providence Grays. Irwin hitting just 118 with a run batted in. Jerry Denny Big lead at first. Smokey Joe Wood checks the runner and comes home with it. There goes Jerry Denny. The throw down by Kerrigan, the slide, the tag, not in time. Again, the Providence Grays bringing an aggressive running game, and should they advance, it is going to be fun to see how this plays out. So at least Cousin Ken should be happy. There's going to be one 19th century team, or should be. We're hoping a 19th century team in there. It looks like there is already with Baltimore, but it'd be fun to see the Grays win it and see the Grays and Orioles face off. Now, the next 2 rounds, I should let you know, baseball fans, are probably going to favor the dead ball teams as opposed to 19th century teams, as they are best of 7. That being said, you have Old Hoss Radbourne that can pitch probably all 7 games of that series. So I love the Red Sox. I love this 1912 team. They were a tough team and beat a really formidable New York Giants team. But I really want to see the Grays advance because I want to see the Grays and Orioles lock it up. I think that will be so much fun. All right, Jerry Denny in scoring position. Nobody out. Smokey Joe Wood with the 1-0 pitch. Change up. Arthur Irwin sends this to second. Yerkes quickly on to Jake Stahl for the 4-3 putout. Moving to third is Jerry Denny. So the potential go-ahead run 90 feet away for the Providence Grays. And it brings up second baseman Jack Farrell hitting a decent .235. Smokey Joe Wood will be working from the stretch, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Jerry Denny starting down the third base line. Here's the 2-2. The runner doesn't go. Farrell chops this one shallow second. Yerkes having to play shallow on it. His only play will be to first to Jake Stahl, and in to score is Jerry Denny. It is 1-0 here in the bottom of the second in favor of the Providence Grays. And here is Old Hoss Radbourne. Radbourne hitting 125 with 1 run batted in. Radbourne in 1884, though, hit 230, including a home run, 37 runs batted in. Old Hoss was almost this entire club in a lot of ways. We talked in another broadcast about if you look on Baseball Reference, you'll see a certain number of wins for Radbourne, and then according to Major League Baseball. So Baseball Reference feeling that Radbourne should have gotten the 60th win credited that was taken away from him in 1950. So interesting little tidbit there for you again. All right, Boston Battery ready to work now to Old Hoss. The 1-1. Radbourne swings, fly ball, center field, but Tris Speaker, that is the place where fly balls go to die. And the Gray Eagle brings it in for out number 3. However, for the Providence Grays, 1 run on no hits. 1 costly error. 2 in the books here at Huntington Avenue grounds. And it's the Providence Grays 1 and the 1912 Red Sox nothing. Nathaniel asks if we have questions outside the streams, who would I contact? Robbie, if you wouldn't mind doing a little bit of heavy lifting for a moment, would you mind giving Nathaniel the link to the Discord? So Nathaniel, we have a really good Discord set up, and I missed Cousin Ken's. That's all right. Okay, I will watch. But anyhow, Nathaniel, if Robbie would do that, please just put. We have a Discord where mostly everybody in the community hangs out. Nathaniel, that is the best place. If you have questions about the game, questions about whatever, great place for you to post baseball links, talk about your projects. We'd be more than happy to have you in our Discord. And yeah, so Ken, I'll keep watching more closely. I missed those 2. I'm sorry. I think it's because I was telling the story of Radbourne there, so gotcha. But still 1-0, it worked out happily. All right, Steve Yerkes here. Yerkes hitting 227 with a run batted in this tournament. Old Hoss delivers. Here's the 0-2. Yerkes swing and a miss. And Old Hoss Radbourne bringing dominance here. That is strikeout number 4. And we are just in the top of the 3rd inning. And it brings up Smokey Joe Wood. Smokey Joe hitting .333 with 4 home runs or 4 runs batted in, And Smokey Joe was not an easy out. Even in his great pitching year of 1912, Smokey Joe hit .290 with a home run and 13 runs batted in. Smokey Joe, of course, suffered a hand injury, slipped on some wet grass. Tried to pitch in the next couple seasons, but reinvented himself into an excellent player. But imagine had Smokey Joe not injured his pitching hand, we'd be talking about Hall of Famer. So very close. Radbourn deals to Wood, the 1-1 pitch. Spitball, base hit, center field, and Smokey Joe Wood firing all cylinders on his Chalmers, and he will make it to second. So 1-out double for Smokey Joe Wood. And Trespeaker steps in. That Clinton says not all of us play Action PC. No, that's true. So it's a place where people can share a love of baseball. It's not an Action PC Discord. It's a baseball Discord. So thanks for joining in. I won't be surprised to see MV start posting some stuff about Super Mega Baseball 4. Check out his great broadcast earlier today where he is recreating the 1906 Chicago Cubs in Super Mega Baseball, and he and Steve Tate are doing everything they can to convince me to get the game, which I want to get the game. Unfortunately, my new job doesn't start till 5th July, so I've got to be kind of careful, and that game is not cheap. So I will get it. I've just got to really look at finances. I mean, I've got a bunch of credit cards open, but trying to exercise some responsibility. All right, Trespeaker back now at the top of the order here for Boston. He walked back in the first. And Radbourn with the 1-2 delivery. And fastball, center field. Hines to the deep part of the park makes the catch. And great catch there by Paul Hines. That definitely would have been extra bases and would have tied this game. As it is, it's 2 down. Old Haas with a little doff of the cap to Paul Hines there in center. 2 away. Smokey Joe Wood remains perched in scoring position as third baseman Larry Gardner steps in. Larry Gardner walked against Radbourn. Here is the 2-1. Gardner swings, base hit for extra bases. Gardner's going to pick up the RBI and a double. Coming in to score is Smokey Joe Wood. And the 1912 Boston Red Sox tied up here in the top of the 3rd inning. We are knotted at 1. Jake Stahl now struck out his last time up. Gardner into his lead at second, 2 down. Old Haas with the 0-2. And a little curveball misses, and that is strikeout number 5. However, Boston able to solve Radbourn at least in the 3rd, enough to tie it up. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 3rd here, Huntington Avenue grounds. And the 1912 Boston Red Sox and the 1884 Providence Grays are knotted at 1. So it's all good, Nathaniel. Hang out, and if you're whatever you do, you play cards and dice, you play digital, a hybrid, you just love baseball. Glad to have you as part of the family, my friend. And your next time in, you get the moderator wrench. All right, pardon me, guys. There, right fielder Paul Radford now hitting .222 in the tournament, and then we'll swing around to Paul Hines. So this will be the first time through the Providence lineup. Smokey Joe with the 1-1. Curveball, easy fly ball to center field. Trespeaker has it in his sights and in his grasp for out number 1. All right, leadoff hitter now, Paul Hines, grounded to first, back in the first. Steps in against Wood. Smokey Joe from the set, and the 2-2. Fastball chopped up the middle, and Yerkes, nice play, barehanded onto Jake Stahl for out number 2. Smokey Joe Wood looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Joe Start singled on the infield back in the first. Wood again sets and fires the 2-2. Fastball, Start swings, and Wood going over to cover first. Yerkes up with it to retire Providence. They go quietly. We've played 3. We're knotted at 1. Pause for station identification. We're back. Nathaniel saying he loves baseball to death. Cousin Ken tell him he's in the right place. And there he is. Bernard Strom. Bernard does some awesome stuff. Using PC Replay Baseball, replaying the 1950 Boston Red Sox season, hoping to take them to the World Series. Also, Bernard has joined the Action PC faith. So, Bernard, on Wednesday night, as I said earlier in the broadcast, I'm going to be doing a stream devoted to the updated baseball history collection. So, please let us know, Bernard, when your next game is in your 1950 Red Sox replay. Just put a link in the chat or the time or what have you. All right. So, and that's the idea, Nathan. You talk about learning. We're all learning. Believe me, I learned from these guys in here, and every once in a while I throw something to them they didn't know. It's pretty rare, but it happens. All right, Duffy Lewis struck out back in the first. Lewis will be followed by Heine Wagner and Ruff Kerrigan. Duffy 0 for 1. Old Haas with the 0-1 delivery to Lewis. Curveball, base hit, right field. Paul Hines has it, the throw to second, and they nail Duffy Lewis. So Duffy Lewis getting a little bit greedy out here, pays for it. Paul Hines guns it in, and the tag, and he is erased. So one down here now as Heine Wagner steps to the plate with the bases empty. And he gave it a ride deep down the right field line his last time up. Wagner digging in from the right side of the plate. Radbourn, here's the 3-1 curveball missing. So this one just a bit inside, and Heine Wagner aboard one down. That's the second free pass issued by Old Haas. He's whiffed 5 in this inning. And Ruff Kerrigan now steps in. No, Robbie. Far from the best professor there is, believe me. I've learned more doing baseball on this channel from the community than I knew about baseball coming into it. And I knew quite a bit about baseball. But, you know, with Cousin Ken Castro, Clinton, JT Dutch, even yourself, Robbie. I think we're all a good family here, and what we would call an education, a constructivist learning community. That's really what this is. But most of all, it's family. Bill Kerrigan, 0 for 1. Wagner at first. Heine Wagner with 21 steals in 1912. Barney Gilligan sets the target for Old Haas Radbourn. Here is the delivery. Kerrigan swings in the first pitch. No, holds up. Wagner run and turn it on the Jets. He picks up the stolen base. 1 second, guys. All right, so stolen base for Boston. And the go-ahead run now in scoring position. And Bill Kerrigan back in the box. And here is the 0-1 pitch from Radbourn. Fastball. Kerrigan. Oh, big swing and a miss. So that's strikeout number 6. 2 down. Heine Wagner remains at second. And Harry Hooper struck out against Radbourn his last time up. 2 away, 1-1 your score. Old Haas, let's go. Full count to Hooper. Fastball. And this one missing. This one low and inside. So 2 walks in this inning now by Radbourn. That's 3 total. Heine Wagner at second. Harry Hooper at first. And that brings up second baseman Steve Yerkes. He struck out his last time up. Radbourn with the wind in the delivery. The 3-0 spitball. And Radbourn all of a sudden having some control problems. That is his 4th walk. And brings up Smokey Joe Wood now. Boston mounting a serious threat here. Smokey Joe is 1 for 1, and he doubled back in the 3rd. Radbourn needing to bear down here to get this 3rd out. So 4 total walks for Haas Radbourn. 3 of those 4 walks coming in this inning. Radbourn with a 1-2 pitch to Smokey Joe Wood. The curveball, swing and a miss. So Old Haas Radbourn turns away the Boston Red Sox, who leave the bases sold out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. They leave them loaded. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. We are deadlocked at 1. Bernard says that he's not sure whether to do real teams or drafted teams for your first Action PC history project. Oh, man. You know, you know what? It's a great thing when you have that kind of freedom that you can almost get analysis paralysis, you know, if you will. I'm sure whatever project you're going to come up with, Bernard, is going to be amazing. Going to be amazing. All right, Cliff Carroll's going to start it off here in the bottom of the 4th inning for the 1884 Grays, followed by Barney Gilligan and Jerry Denny. The left fielder Carroll struck out back in the 1st. Smokey Joe Wood in the game has only struck out 1. Both pitchers pitching very well. Radbourne, though, we're going to keep an eye on him. Possible control problems. We'll see. But pitching out of a bases-loaded jam after issuing 3 walks in the top of the 4th. All right, Smokey Joe Wood with a 1-2 delivery. Curveball to Carroll. Grounded hard to Wagner at short, and Heine Wagner boots the ball, chases it, picks it up off the infield dirt, and looks up to see Cliff Carroll standing at first base. So that's another error for the Boston Red Sox of 1912. That is number 2. All right, steal. Mark Roberts is here. Welcome in, Roberts. Or welcome in, Mark. It is so good to see you. It's been a while. All right, so Providence looking for the steal here, and Cliff Carroll with an aggressive lead off first. Barney Gilligan, nothing for 1, grounded to third, back in the 1st. Wood with a check of the runner. Here's the pitch, and there goes Cliff Carroll. Kerrigan's throw down, not in time. Cliff Carroll picks up the stolen bases, so the Providence aggressive running game continues. Gilligan back in the box now. Barney Gilligan back in the box. Smokey Joe Wood to let it go. The 0-1. Gilligan, base hit left field. Up with it is Duffy Lewis, rounding third, but holding is Cliff Carroll. Now we got runners at the corners, and Ken was calling for a sacrifice, and it turned out to be a base hit. I'm going to slow the pace down a little bit, Ken, so that way you can, I can see what you're doing. Nathaniel Lance says once he gets Action PC Baseball, he's going to watch Steve's walkthrough. No better teacher than Steve, and I see the glove going up from Ken. Hey, Christopher Slovic, good to see you. Christopher doing some non-baseball. He's back in America for a little while. All right, hit and run. Hit and run, you got it. But yeah, as far as Action PC Baseball, there's stuff I can teach you about it, but Steve Tate is the man. Although I did teach Steve Tate a couple things, and I'll show you right now. So Nathaniel, when you do get the game, not only if you go just to the bottom of the scoreboard, no big deal here. You can see the box scores that's going along, which is nice. But this is something I've never seen a digital baseball game do. So when I go down here and I look at the Grays and I see that they scored 1 in the bottom of the 2nd, if I hover over these innings, I can see exactly how every inning played out. So in this one, Jack Farrell grounded to 2nd, scoring Jerry Denny. Right, I can go back and look at any inning. Up here, how did Boston score? It was on a Larry Gardner double that scored Smokey Joe Wood. This is brilliant, and you can see this all the way through. And this was something Steve had been aware of. The other neat thing is if you're watching my screen, you'll see I'll do this. When you hover over this, you see what the batter did his last time up, which is really nice. Games like Diamond Mine would tell you what the batter did in the play-by-play. Out of the park will do it about 70% of the time. But I love this, so I want this information. It's right here. Again, one of the beautiful things, you don't have to keep score as you're playing Action PC Baseball. All right, with that said, here we go. A little bit of hit and run action being called by Cousin Ken Castro. Runner on third, and Cliff Carroll and Barney Gilligan at first. Christopher Slovic putting up a link. He says, Beatles, he says he found an AI program that you make an old news broadcast of your place really easy. Oh, man. Oh, and you know what? I can't click on that while I'm in a broadcast. Christopher, geez, wait a minute. Sorry guys, I got to pause the game for this because I need to have this thing. I don't know if it's gonna. It's not gonna let me do it. I have to look at my own stream. Hang on a second here. I don't know if it's gonna. It's not gonna let me do it. I have to look at my own stream. Hang on a second here.
Good evening, the 1969 college. Good evening, the 1969 college. Good evening, the 1969 college.
Okay, that's super cool, Christopher. I saw that up on your channel, and I saw what it was about, but I just happened to click on it. Okay, that's super cool, Christopher. I saw that up on your channel, and there we go. I saw it on your channel, and I'm like, why did Christopher put up like this thing from the early 70s? So that is an AI doing that? Oh man, I am gonna have a blast with that. Christopher Slovic, you're my hero. All right. So, all right, back here now with Jerry Denny. I don't know if Ken, are we still doing the hit and run here? That's what we're doing. Yes, we are. Okay. All right. Here's the pitch by Smokey Joe Wood, the 1-1, and there goes Gilligan, the throw down, and they will not get Barney Gilligan. So on a hit and run play, Jerry Denny swings and misses. Kerrigan up with it, and 2 in scoring position now. The count 1-2 on Jerry Denny, and cousin Ken Castro, I think, is still staying with a hit and run, but I'm going to wait again with nobody out in a 1-2 count, see what he wants to do. Hit away. Thought so. Okay. So that means computer play call is what I'll do when you say hit away. Smokey Joe Wood from the stretch in the 1-2 fastball. Chopped up the middle. Steve Yerkes will go to first. His only play. And coming in to score is Cliff Carroll. And the 1884 Grays jump back out in front. It's now 2-1. Barney Gilligan at third for Arthur Irwin, who grounded to second. Kerrigan sets the target. Smokey Joe Wood pitching with 1 down and 1 in. Here it comes. Full count. Curveball. Curveball misses to Arthur Irwin. Low and inside. So Smokey Joe Wood gives up his first free pass of the game. 1 down. Runners at the corners. Barney Gilligan at third. Arthur Irwin at first as Jack Farrell steps to the plate. Farrell in the game. Grounded out to second. Scoring Jerry Denny. And the glove going up by cousin Ken Castro. A hit and run play. So cousin Ken managing these 1884 Providence Grays. Smokey Joe Wood sets and comes out of the stretch, and the 1-1 pitch. Curveball, and perfectly executed hit and run base hit. Farrell will pick up the RBI. Barney Gilligan will come in to score. Let's see, asking manager Frank Bancroft if we're going to send Irwin to third. A save chance of 95%? Yes. All right. So, Providence plating 2. Some gutsy managing here by Mr. Castro of the Providence Grays. Dan Burke, welcome in. Dan Burke, good to see you. Always good to see a fellow Irishman in here. And a baseball scholar. Hope you're doing well, Dan. All right. So runners at the corners now, and Gardner and Stahl playing in respectively at third and first. Look at bunt here from Old Haas. And with 1 out, let's see what Ken Castro wants to do with these 1884 Grays. That was a beautifully executed hit and run. Let's look at that again while cousin Ken decides. So Irwin was off to the races. Beautiful hit and run to left field. And that brings us to where we are now with the runners at the corners. 1 out. And since I'm seeing nothing from Ken, I'm going to go ahead and we'll swing away with Old Haas. Infield looking bunt. Wood from the stretch. And there goes Farrell, and Kerrigan is not even going to make a throw. So another stolen base for the Providence Grays. Now 2 in scoring position. Radbourn back in the box. Smokey Joe Wood with the delivery out of the stretch. Fastball swung on, grounded hard to short. Wagner's going to go to first, but Radbourn is going to pick up the RBIs. Arthur Irwin comes in to score. So it's now 4-1. Providence looking to break it out here and advance to meet the 1894 Baltimore Orioles, but we are only in the middle third of this game. Paul Radford now bats. Jack Farrell 90 feet away. Radford flied to center his last time up. Here is the pitch from Smokey Joe Wood, the 0-1 curveball. Radford grounds to short. Heine Wagner will go to Jake Stahl. Long stretch by Stahl to make that play to retire Radford in the side, but the 1884 Grays pick up 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, a man left. 4 done here at Huntington Avenue grounds, and it's the 1884 Grays 4, the 1912 Red Sox 1. Tris Speaker will lead it off. We're back at the top of the order for the Scarlet Hose, followed by Larry Gardner, Chick Stahl. We see that John Honey Fitzgerald and Michael Ned McGreevy here with the Royal Rooters. So not having to sing the Tessie song, as they sung so well in the 1903 World Series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Tommy Leach said that those Boston fans, and I quote, he said, "I think Boston won that series with that damn Tessie song." And the Boston Red Sox, indeed, the Boston Americans, winning the inaugural Modern World Series 5-3 against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Interestingly, though, the Pittsburgh Pirates got the larger share, larger World Series fare. Barney Dreyfuss was among those dead ball owners. Pretty generous guy. All right, here we go. Radbourn delivers to the Gray Eagle, the 2-1. Speaker, easy ground ball to Joe Start at first. Joe Start could have practically just, I don't know, sauntered to first to retire Speaker. That's how hard the ball was hit. Speaker's speed not serving him well there. All right, 1 away for Larry Gardner. So Gardner, with a sacrifice in the first and an RBI double in the third that scored Smokey Joe Wood. Radbourn has struck out 7 and walked 4 in this game. The 2-2 pitch to Gardner, and cut and a miss, and that is strikeout number 8 by Haas Radbourn. So we were doubting his control, but Radbourn getting back to form now. That is strikeout 8. Jake Stahl has struck out twice against Old Haas, and he winds and twirls. The 2-2 pitch. Curveball, and this one struck hard to left, and Jake Stahl will slide and get in there with a 2-out double. Stahl really hammered that ball, so nice play out there in left field by Cliff Carroll to keep it from rolling all the way to the wall. So, potential second Boston run in scoring position, and it brings up Duffy Lewis. Duffy Lewis's last time singled in the 4th. Radbourn sets and fires the 1-2 pitch. Changeup, and this one painting the corner for strike 3. 9th strikeout by Old Haas Radbourn. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th, baseball fans. It's the 1884 Providence Grays 4, the 1912 Boston Red Sox 1. All right. So bringing it up now here, we're at the top of the order here for the 1884 Grays. It's going to be Paul Hines, Joe Start, and Cliff Carroll. And talk about a face we haven't seen in a while. Todd B., welcome in. Cousin Ken asking folks to hit the like button, if you will. Thank you for that, cousin. Appreciate it, as do my cats. Todd, I hope you've been well, my friend. Missed you here. All right. Paul Hines is nothing for 2. He's grounded to first and second. Smokey Joe Wood would like to get him to ground to short and then ground to third. Wood deals the 3-1 delivery. Hines swings fastball. This one foul ball on the third base side. Count now at 3-2. Here's the pitch. Hines straightens this one out, but he grounds it to third. Larry Gardner up in plenty of time onto Jake Stahl to retire Hines for out number 1. Here's Joe Start now. He's had a hell of a game. So singled back on the infield in the first, and Joe Start pilfered himself a base. Smokey Joe Wood with the 0-2. Start swinging on the fastball. Easy grounder to Heine Wagner. This is going to be close at first, and Joe Start does it again. Another infield single. So 1 away, and the speedy Joe Start at first. So it's good to hear. So Todd B says that he's been away on vacation and just got back from Tennessee. Good to hear you're on vacation. Things that are going a little better for you and Mrs. Todd B, I hope. Cousin Ken Castro with 1 out. What are we doing here? Cliff Carroll's coming to the plate. He is 0 for 2. He was safe in an error back in the 4th. Joe Start is on first, 1 down. So guys, Cousin Ken is kind of managing Providence because of the, I think it's about a 6-second lag. I need to kind of wait to see what managerial decision he wants to make. And as you can see, the glove of despair going up. And we got a run and hit. All right. Gutsier and gutsier we go. Curiouser and curiouser, said Alice. Smokey Joe checks Joe Start, peers in, has the sign from Ruff Kerrigan. And from the stretch, there goes Joe Start. Cliff Carroll lines it to Yerkes, back to Jake Stahl at first, and Joe Start is doubled up to end the inning on a run and hit play. That's almost like a straight steal, and this time it comes back to bite Providence right in the gray. We go to the 6th though, and Providence can gamble with a 3-run lead. It's 4-1. What a great play. Let's look at that one again. So there goes Joe Start. Carroll, just Yerkes, quick snap throw back to Jake Stahl. So inning-ending double play, big win. All right, Heine Wagner, Ruff Kerrigan, and Harry Hooper. Wagner in the game has flied out and walked. Radbourn with the delivery, the 0-1. Wagner swings, long fly ball to left, but Cliff Carroll has it just short of the wall. 1 up, 1 down. Bill Kerrigan now. He's lined out and struck out. Radbourn with the 2-2 pitch. Kerrigan comes up empty, and Hoss Radbourn in double digits now with 10 strikeouts through 5 2/3 innings. So could Radbourn get to 18 or 19 strikeouts? Could it happen? All right, Harry Hooper now batting with 2 down. The right fielder has struck out and walked. He's 0 for 1. Radbourn looking for strikeout number 11. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Hooper. And Harry Hooper, a rip and a miss. And that is the 11th strikeout for old Hoss Radbourn. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Huntington Avenue grounds. Since again, we couldn't find an image for Messer Field, we have to play this in Massachusetts as well. It is 4-1. 1884 Grays over the 1912 Boston Red Sox. Barney Gilligan leads it off here as Todd regaling everybody with tales of his recent vacation to Tennessee. Awesome, Todd. All right, Smokey Joe Wood deals to Barney Gilligan. Fastball, first pitch swinging, grounded to Steve Yerkes, who fires onto Jake Stahl to retire Barney Gilligan 4-3 if you're scoring at home. Jerry Denny now comes to the plate. Safe in an error back in the 2nd, and then an RBI scoring Cliff Carroll in the 4th. Smokey Joe Wood bringing it now. Here's the 0-1 fastball, swung on Jerry Denny. Hard grounder to Larry Gardner at third base. Fires on to Jake Stahl for the 5-3 put up. 2 up, 2 down now for the Providence Grays, and it brings up shortstop Arthur Irwin. Grounded out in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. Smokey Joe Wood winds and fires. Full count on Irwin, and that one in there. Called strike 3. Smokey Joe Wood picking up his 2nd strikeout of the game. We head to the visitors' half of the 7th. and it's still 4-1. Let's look at the pitching line now for Haas Radbourn, and we'll look at for Smokey Joe at the bottom of the inning. So Radbourn thus far has worked 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks, 11 strikeouts. Steve Yerkes, nothing for 1. He has struck out and walked. Radbourn into the windup. Here's the 1-1. Curveball. Yerkes, little dribbler to third. Jerry Denny rushing in on that ball. Quick throw across the diamond to Joe Start for out number 1. And here's Smokey Joe Wood now. Wood steps in the box, hitting .375 as of this at bat. He has doubled and struck out. Gilligan sets the target for Old Haas. Smokey Joe Wood swinging on this first pitch curveball, deep fly ball. Big park here though. Paul Hines back to get it. It's a long way back to, I think this park was in excess of 500 feet to dead center. So 2 up, 2 down, bases empty. Back at the top of the order for the Red Sox and the great Tris Speaker. Tris Speaker is 0 for 2, including a walk. Radbourn with the 2-1 delivery. Change up. Speaker swings. Fly ball. Right field. Paul Radford has it at the wall for out number 3. Middle of the 7th. Your score is 4-1. One, two, three, four. All right, we are back. We are back. We are back. We are in the home half of the 7th inning, and let's look at Smokey Joe Wood's pitching line. Through 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. So the line for the Providence Grays right now, 4-4-0 for the 1912 Boston Red Sox, 1-4-2. Boston is stranded 6. Providence has stranded 2. Jack Farrell leads it off here. Farrell with a pair of RBI in this game, an RBI in the 2nd and the 4th, from Jerry Denny and Barney Gilligan, respectively. And here is the wind in the pitch from Smokey Joe Wood. The 0-2 curveball. Farrell chops this one to short. Heine Wagner, with plenty of time, fires onto Jake Stahl. And that will take care of Jack Farrell here, much to the disappointment of this huge crowd who came from Providence, Rhode Island, to watch their 1884 Grays to move ahead in the glorious game of baseball. Baseball. Baseball, as it would have been spelled. For both teams, actually. Baseball. Although for the Red Sox, it would switch between the 2 words of 1 word. But it was still called baseball in some newspapers, even in the dead ball era. All right, how about Old Haas? So to accompany his 3 million strikeouts, well, actually 11, he also has an RBI in this game. Smokey Joe Wood delivers to Old Haas, the 1-2 fastball, and Old Haas, this one strike 3 called. So Smokey Joe Wood picks up his 3rd strikeout of the game, 2 down, and we go to number 9 hitter, the right fielder, Paul Radford. 0 for 2, he's flied out and grounded out. Kerrigan sets the target. Smokey Joe Wood toes the slab and lets it go. 3-0 to Radford, and that's going to be a 4-pitch walk. That fastball missing outside by Smokey Joe. And with 2 outs, Providence has a runner aboard. Back at the top of the order now, center fielder Paul Hines. He has grounded out to 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So he has seen his batting average plummet a bit in this Game 5, a deciding Game 5. Wood brings it now. And that went in there for strike 1. They were looking for Radford to go, but nothing doing. Wood checks the runner. And here's the 0-1 delivery to Paul Hines. Fastball up. This one in there. Strike 2. So the Boston battery looking for Paul Radford to steal, and it's not happening. With a 3-run lead, Providence is going to pick its spots to be aggressive. The 1894 other manager of the Baltimore Orioles, giving John McGraw, or giving Ned Hanlon, I'm sorry, a little bit of a break. Clinton Parks watching the management style of Ken Castro of Providence, who he hopes he will meet in round 3, which will be a best of 7. Smokey Joe Wood with the 0-2 delivery, and there goes Radford. The throw down by Kerrigan, not in time, and with 2 outs, and on the 1-2 count, Paul Radford go for second. So potential 5th run for Providence on. Providence scoring 1 in the second and 3 in the 4th. Paul Hines waits for the Smokey Joe Wood delivery again. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball. This one lofted to left and right into the glove of Duffy Lewis. So we've played 7 here at Huntington Avenue grounds. No runs, no hits, no errors, and it is still 4-1. So Boston will send up Larry Gardner, Jake Stahl, and Duffy Lewis to try to solve Old Hoss Radbourn. Radbourn, think about this, gentlemen. Radbourn in this tournament has struck out 15 batters. 11 of those 15 have come in this game. Radbourn ready to deal now. Radbourn still with considerable fuel in the tank. Deals to Larry Gardner, who is 1 for 2. The 0-1. Gardner sends this to center field. Hines ranging back on this ball and makes a diving catch. So Larry Gardner able to get some pretty good contact on the horsehide. So Paul Hines making a nice play out there in center for Old Hoss. Jake Stahl now 1 for 3. He has struck out twice and doubled to left center. If you're talking about me, Nathaniel, usually 6 days a week. Saturday, yesterday was an anomaly that I actually did 3 games yesterday. I rarely stream on Saturdays. But yeah, Sunday through Friday. And different games. It's not always action PC baseball. Like tonight, you might see MLB The Show or Baseball for Windows out of the park. I might do a doubleheader here, or I might not do a baseball game at all. I might do something else or nothing altogether. Not sure yet, but 6 days a week I try to broadcast when I can. All right, Radbourn deals now to Stahl. No, we have a pinch hitter. It's Olaf Henriksen, who we've seen pinch hitting duties, and we'll go over his numbers later, but he's retired in a 4-3 putout. So 2 away. And that will bring up number 4 hitter, Duffy Lewis. Duffy Lewis, he has struck out twice, and he singled back in the 4th. Radbourn deals the 1-2 delivery. Fastball, Duffy Lewis, swing and a miss, and that is strikeout number 12 for Old Hoss Radbourn. And you have to think that manager Ken Castro of the Providence Grays is absolutely over the moon on this one. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning here, and the Grays poised to move on to meet the 1894 Baltimore Orioles in the next round. Joe Start is 2 for 3 in the game, and they have been infield singles. 8 days a week. You have been waiting for that one, Robbie. You've been waiting for somebody to ask that one. Now, Nathaniel, some will tell you in this community that I stream way too much, but there you are. Smokey Joe Wood deals to Joe Start. Here's the 0-2 curveball, and the curveball's been working for Smokey Joe Wood. That is strikeout number 4 for the Boston hurler, or boxman, if you want to use the old term. Another name for a pitcher. And here's Cliff Carroll. Nothing for 3. Smokey Joe with the 1-1. Fastball to Carroll. Base hit. Hard hit base hit to right field. Harry Hooper making a nice scoop on that one, getting it into Steve Yerkes at second. So Cliff Carroll aboard, and we will, rim shot there by Todd B. We'll hang on here, see what Cousin Ken would like to do here with Cliff Carroll aboard, one down, and Barney Gilligan at the dish now. He is 1 for 3. Send. You got it. Smokey Joe Wood checks the runner from the high set. And there goes Carroll, the throw down by Kerrigan. This is going to be close. And he is just in ahead of the Steve Yerkes tag. So potential 5th run in scoring position for Providence. Gilligan back in the box. The count 1-0. Wood bringing it. The 1-0 curveball. This one spanked up the middle. Heine Wagner with a quick snap. And this one gets by Jake Stahl, and around to score is Cliff Carroll. So big, costly error there. Let's look at that one again. It's 5-1 Providence. So let's watch this play again. So Wagner hurries his throw to try to get the speedy Barney Gilligan. And who do we have in there at first? I didn't even see Hick Cady having to chase that. And by the time the chase is done, Providence picking up run number 5. So 1 out, Barney Gilligan at first, and it brings up Jerry Denny. Nathaniel said that looks safe to me. Carroll got a good jump. Let's look at one. Let's look at it again. So there he goes. Yep, and then he comes around to score. All right. What does Providence want to do here with Barney Gilligan? All right, I've been waiting all series to say this. What will the skipper do about Gilligan? There, I said it. You guys knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. Just had to wait till Ken was doing some active managing here. There we go. Hit and run. All right. And by the way, anybody that's in here, if you want to, we're doing these tournaments or whatever, and there's a team that you would like to throw in and manage, feel free. Just let me know. All right, Smokey Joe Wood ready to deliver now to Jerry Denny. Jerry Denny with an 0 for 3 right now. And there goes Barney Gilligan. This one fouled back. So the count now 0-1 as Jerry Denny steps back in the box. And I am guessing we're going to just stay with the hit and run on an 0-1 and 1 out. Wood goes again. And there goes Barney Gilligan, the throw down by Ruff Kerrigan, and Barney Gilligan has himself a stolen base. Count 0-2 on Jerry Denny now. So run number 6, potential run number 6 now in scoring position for Providence. Jerry Denny ready to work here against Smokey Joe Wood, who delivers the 0-2. Denny a swing and a miss, and that will be strikeout number 5 for Smokey Joe Wood. 2 down for Arthur Irwin. So the Providence shortstop 0 for 2 and a walk. Gilligan leads off second. Wood lets it go. Irwin on the 1-0 pitch, grounded to third, and Larry Gardner with the error, and Irwin aboard courtesy of the E5. So that is the 4th error for the 1912 Boston Red Sox. I believe that equals their total of 4 errors. Yeah, they had 4 errors. No, they had 3 errors the last time these two met. So now Boston again with errors. And surprisingly, the club not wearing gloves, no errors. So here we go. Jack Farrell batting with runners at the corners. 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th with 1 in for Providence. Pair of RBI for Jack Farrell. Smokey Joe Wood works from the stretch. Farrell swing on the first pitch. There goes Irwin. And Irwin is in there safe. So 2 in scoring position now. The count 0-1 on Jack Farrell. Smokey Joe Wood brings it home. The 0-1 fastball. Farrell swings, fly ball toward the line and right, and Harry Hooper makes the running catch. So 1 run, 1 hit, 2 errors, 8 in the books here at Huntington Avenue grounds. And the Boston Red Sox 3 outs away from being eliminated in this tournament. Cousin Ken had predicted these Red Sox to go all the way, but didn't know that they would be meeting his favorite 19th century team. So at least Cousin Ken, the little mixed emotions or whatever, will be gone. At least that's the way it looks like. Radbourn looking strong out there in the hill, and he just needs to get past Heine Wagner, Bill Ruff Kerrigan, and Harry Hooper. Wagner, nothing for 2 on a walk. And Radbourn with a 2-1. Wagner swings, fly ball. Hines covering a lot of territory in center and makes a great running catch. So 1 out. Providence 2 outs away now. And here is Bill Kerrigan. He is lined to second and struck out twice against Old Hoss Radbourn. He has some gas left in the tank. Radbourn with the 0-1 fastball. This one chopped to third. Jerry Denny sets and throws onto Joe Start, but the throw gets by Joe Start, and Kerrigan will move to second. So the second Boston run in scoring position, 1 down, and it brings to the plate Harry Hooper. Harry Hooper, as of this bat, hitting .310 in the tournament. He has struck out twice and walked. Radbourn from the set position, the 0-2 delivery. Fastball to Hooper, bounder to second. Farrell quickly over to Joe Start. That is out number 2. Bill Kerrigan will move to third, and it is down to Steve Yerkes to try to keep this going for Boston. Yerkes 0 for 2. Radbourn working from the stretch. This doesn't merit pitch mode with a 4-run lead. Radbourn from the stretch in the 2-0 to Yerkes. Fastball, base hit, right field. Yerkes picking up the RBIs. Bill Kerrigan comes in to score, and Boston now within 3. It is 5-2. And Smokey Joe Wood will come to the plate. Smokey Joe flied to deep left center his last time up. He's 1 for 3 in this game, doubled back in the third. Radbourn ready to work, gets the sign from Barney Gilligan, checks Yerkes at first. Gilligan out to have a quick word with Old Hoss, back behind now, and the 1-1. Krug swings, base hit right field, so we have a pinch hitter, and Steve Yerkes will hold second. Boston now brings the tying run to the plate in Tris Speaker. So we're going to pause and ask the manager of the 1884 Providence Grays whether Old Hoss finishes this game or not. This is for everything. This is for going on to the next round. Tying run in Tris Speaker, and Tris Speaker in 1912 had 10 home runs, only 1 home run in this tournament. So a dangerous hitter up there. What do we do? Do we have faith? Does the Providence manager maintain faith in Old Hoss Radbourn, or does he bring in a reliever? Let it pitch. And this does merit pitch mode. Quick look at Marty Krug, who got that single coming off the bench. So in the replay, he is hitting .500 in 1912 in limited action for the Red Sox at .308. And here we go. Radbourn facing off against the Gray Eagle. This is one of the great things about baseball. A swing of the bat, and this game completely turns around. Here is the set and the first pitch from Old Hoss. Fastball. Speaker pops this behind the plate. Gilligan running back on this ball, and this one will get out of play. The count 0-1 on Tris Speaker. He's back in the box. Radbourn sets and fires, and this one inside, ball 1. Count 1-1 now on Speaker. Speaker steps out of the box. Couple cuts with the bat, now back in there. Speaker, a dead ball hitter with power. Radbourn ready to work now. The 1-1, and he twirls it in. Curveball in there for a strike. Swing and a miss. The count 1-2 now. Old Haas not wasting any time on that 1-1 pitch. And you don't think he's going to try to have Speaker, one of the game's greatest hitters of all time, something to chase in the 1-2. You got to think Old Haas wants to get it done right here. The 1-2 delivery on the way. Fastball to Speaker. Base hit center field. Paul Hines up with it. Rounding third is Steve Yerkes. And Providence throw home out chance 4%. 4% will wait. So Frank Bancroft, a.k.a. Ken Castro, being asked, do you try to throw for Yerkes or let him score? You only have a 4% chance to get him out. As Todd B says, just slogged his way through an 11-1 1979 Angels win over the 1980 Kansas City Royals. Wow. Those are tough. No throw. Makes sense. I mean, I just didn't want to assume it because throw home would have advanced the runners. All right, Larry Gardner now, and Boston is within 2. We're going to put this in pitch mode again. Larry Gardner 1 for 3. Larry Gardner with a home run in this tournament, only 3. So Speaker probably the more dangerous hitter on first. Marty Krug at second. And Nathaniel says they still have a safe lead thus far. But now the tying run is on first. Go ahead run here in the bottom of the 9th, the winning run at the plate. Old Haas sets and fires. Here it comes, curveball, and this one missing outside and high, ball 1. Radbourn, again, 16 strikeouts in this tournament and 12 strikeouts today, so 12 of his 16 strikeouts coming in this game. Radbourn ready to twirl now, the 1-0. Fastball in there, or low, I'm sorry. Ball 2. Radbourn takes a little walk off the slab here. No, Robbie, Old Haas is not done. Let me, if I may. There you go. All right, anyhow. The count 2-0 now on Larry Gardner. Old Haas Radbourn ready to deal. Fastball to Gardner, in there. Swing and a miss. D-Reich 1. Cousin Ken. All right. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 down. Marty Krug at second. Speaker at first. Boston down 5-3 here. We are in the 9th. It's do or die for Boston. Radbourn sets and fires. Fastball. This one missing outside. The count 3-1 now on Larry Gardner. As Todd B says, Radbourn didn't have a pitch clock. Interesting, though, that is funny. 19th century and dead ball games were usually very, very rapid affairs. Games averaged, I think, about an hour and a half. But that is funny, though. All right, it's 3-1, and waiting on deck is Hick Cady. And the set and the 3-1 from Old Haas. Curveball, and the curveball misses. And now the bases are loaded for Hick Cady. So this will be Cady's first plate appearance in this tournament. So an unknown. Cady in 1912 for the Red Sox hit .259. He had 13 doubles, 2 triples, 9 runs batted in. Staying in pitch mode here with bases loaded. Providence on the brink here. And according to expected pitch count, Radbourn is up to his expected pitch count of 150. What does manager Ken Castro of the Providence Grays want to do? We'll give it a pause in the action here as Hikady goes back to the barrel and picks out another wicket of ash. The Grays will get a chance in the bottom of the ninth should Boston go ahead. All right, gonna let him pitch. Christopher Slovic enjoying the tension, as am I. I love it when the games come down to this. All right, Hikady in the box now. Radbourn studying the sign from Gilligan, has one he likes. Wait, Gilligan comes out, making sure they're not crossed up in a bases loaded situation. Radbourn ready to let it go now. Fastball, and fastball missing. Outside, ball one. Radbourn is tired. Radbourn is tired. Cousin Ken Castro wanting his ace to stay out there, however. Hikady back in the box, and Haas Radbourn peers in, twirling the sphere behind his back. Has the sign from Barney Gilligan. The set and the pitch to Hikady. Fastball misses. This one up and in, ball two. Count 2-0. Wait to see what Ken wants to do. Do you bring in a reliever on a 2-0 count? Radbourn has pitched one hell of a ball game. 12 strikeouts. Bases loaded. Marty Krug at third. Tris Speaker at second. Larry Gardner at first. A mound visit. And the mound trip says that Radbourn looks tired. On the bench, you have Cyclone Miller and Charlie Sweeney. However, because this is a game 5, you actually have your starters as well. Which would just be Charlie Sweeney, unless you want to bring in Harry Arundel, but I don't know. Up to you what you want to do. I would bring in Arundel. There's a 31% chance that Hikady gets a hit off of him. Looking at the percentages here, if you wanted to go to your pen, according to the numbers, it's Charlie Sweeney. But we'll wait and see what you say. Sweeney it is. So even the Boston fans giving old Haas Radbourn a rare applause as he goes off. He will get the Loving Cup. A diamond pin, as also was customary in those days. It wasn't all nastiness. Charlie Sweeney will come in to try to shut it down, inheriting a bases loaded situation. 2 out in the ninth with a 2-run lead. Sweeney is ready. Hikady back in the box. Charlie Sweeney with the 2-0 pitch. Fastball. And this one missing low. The count now 3-0 on Hikady. Does Sweeney give him something to swing at? Or do you walk home a run and take your chances on Duffy Lewis? That is the question. This Providence crowd on its feet. Gilligan sets the target for Charlie Sweeney. Sweeney is 0-1 in this tournament. He worked 9 innings. He struck out 6, walked 2. In 1884, 1.55 earned on average, 17 wins, 8 losses, 1 save. Struck out 145. 3-0 pitch. And missing, ball 4, and a walk, or a run is in, courtesy of the walk. Bases remain loaded. and it brings up Duffy Lewis. It is 5-4. Duffy Lewis has struck out 3 times today, but that was against Old Hoss Radbourne. Does cousin Ken Castro want to stay with Charlie Sweeney? Really, 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 as much as I love this Red Sox team, I want Providence to pull this out. I want that matchup between the Orioles and the Grays. Ken is thinking Sweeney all the way. All right. And here we go. Duffy Lewis, the lefty, in the box. Charlie Sweeney pitching with the bases loaded. He is Old Hoss Radbourne responsible for Speaker and Gardner. Sweeney responsible for Hick Cady. Sweeney fires it in. Fastball. Duffy Lewis, base hit. Center field. This game is tied. Gardner rounding third. Hines up with the ball. And throw home. There's only an 8% chance. Or I'm sorry, 6% chance. Do we make the throw home? This game is tied, and looks like, do we gamble with 6% here? Or to put it another way, Larry Gardner has a 94% chance of being safe. Throw home. Here's the throw from Hines. The tag, not even close. And Boston, here in the 9th, plates 5 and takes the lead. It is now 6-5. The first time the Red Sox have had a lead in this game. Now we'll go back to at-bat mode. And Heine Wagner is 0 for 3. Sweeney rocks and fires. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball to Wagner. This one chopped to short. Irwin to Farrell to retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 9th. And coming in to pitch for the Boston Red Sox is Larry Pape. So, here we go. Ken Castro says, I can't believe what I'm seeing. Neither can I. All right. Let's just, in case, let's look at the bench as far as pinch hitters. See what cousin Ken would like to do, or do you want to allow Sweeney to bat? Let's look at Sweeney's numbers as a hitter in 1884. A .298 average, 19 runs batted in, including a home run. And again, this being older baseball, just because your pitcher's up there doesn't mean you're going to pinch hit. In the meantime, Clyde Engel will come in and play first base for the Boston Red Sox of 1912. So Hick Cady's day is done. Sweeney hits. All right, Larry Pape in 1912, a 4.99 earned run average, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 save. He worked 48 2/3 innings for the Red Sox, walked 16, struck out 17. The American League against Larry Pape in 1912 hit .361, a rather high whip of .1849. Sweeney 0 for 3 as a hitter in this tournament. Larry Pape winds and fires. The 1-2 delivery to Charlie Sweeney. Base hit. Right field. Hooper up with it. The throw to second. The tag by Heine Wagner. Not in time. And the tying run is on board for the Providence Grays with nobody out. And we go to number 9 hitter, Paul Radford. Radford is 0 for 2 in the game. He walked back in the 7th. So Larry Pape now. And here we go, looking for the sacrifice. All right. Radford, an average bunter. Pape deals at home. Radford bunts at this curveball. Coming in on is Larry Gardner. He'll go to Yerkes to retire Radford, and moving to third is with a tying run. Just 90 feet away now is Charlie Sweeney. We are back at the top of the order, and here is center fielder Paul Hines. He is grounded to first, second, and third, and fly to left. Infield in, looking to cut off the run at the plate. Nathaniel saying hit away. Is Cousin Ken also saying hit away? I got to see it from Cousin Ken as well, because I would be surprised to see him try something crazy like a squeeze. Just making sure. Hit away. All right. Here we go. Infield in. The 0-2 to Hines. He swings, chops to Wagner at short. Wagner bobbles the ball, and coming in to score. Oh my God. So what the tying run scores. Sweeney scores. It is 6-6 in the bottom of the 9th inning. And here's Joe Start, who's 2 for 4 on the day. Paul Hines at first. Can Providence pull it out after that big 5-run top of the 9th by the 1912 Red Sox? As Robbie Wartburg says, and we are tied. Tough game here. While we wait for Cousin Ken to make a decision, the Red Sox 6-8-5. The Grays 6-6-1. Boston has stranded 8. The Grays have stranded 5. Larry Pape. Unearned run there, so big error by Heine Wagner. The wheels are turning in the Providence dugout. Pape trying to induce a double play ball here, of course, hit away. Joe Start, his 2 hits in this game have been infield singles. Hines into his leadoff first. Larry Pape with a 3-0 delivery, changeup, and this one missing. 4-pitch walk, 2 on, and that brings up Cliff Carroll. Pape still with a chance for a double play. Cliff Carroll has 2 steals today. He is 1 for 4. His safety, last safety, was a single in the 8th. All right, potential double play situation to send us to extras. Cliff Carroll, little wave of the bat. Larry Pape from the set, and the 1-2 fastball, swing and a miss. Larry Pape picks up a big strikeout. 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th, and it's up to Barney Gilligan now to try to get a walk-off here. 1 for 4. Pape deals to Gilligan. The 1-2, chop to first, and Engel up with an over to Larry Pape, and Larry Pape gives up just 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left on. We go to extras. As we enter the top of the 10th inning, we are knotted at 6, the 1912 Red Sox and the 1884 Grays. One of these teams will advance to face the 1894 Baltimore Orioles. Ruff Kerrigan, Harry Hooper, and Steve Yerkes to face Charlie Sweeney and the Providence Grays here in the 10th. Kerrigan wearing the collar here, nothing for 4. He was safe on an error. Charlie Sweeney with the 0-1 curveball, chopped to short. Irwin with a quick release on to Jake Stahl, to Joe Start, and they will get it for out number 1. Robbie Wartburg saying, what a game. Indeed it is. All right, here is Harry Hooper. Harry Hooper sporting an 0 for 3. He's walked. Charlie Sweeney on a relief for the great Haas Radborn, who exited the game with 12 strikeouts, but nasty situation. Sweeney deals the 1-2 to Hooper, Fastball. And that went in there for strike 3. Big swing and a miss by the Boston right fielder. 2 away here in the 10th. Steve Yerkes now strides to the plate. Yerkes 1 for 3. RBI single back in the 9th, scoring Carrington. And that gave Boston its 2nd run. Sweeney into the wind. And here's the fastball. First pitch swinging. Comeback. This one deflects off Sweeney. Irwin has it on the lucky carom. On to Joe Start to retire Boston in the 10th. That was crazy. Bottom of the 10th we go. And it's the number 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Providence Grays. Jerry Denny, Arthur Irwin, and Jack Farrell. Denny 0 for 4 in the game. Larry Pape on in relief, the 0-2. Fastball, fly ball to Tris Speaker, and Speaker barely had to move, ranging to his left about 4 steps to make the catch. 1 out. Arthur Irwin has a walk. He is 0 for 3. Larry Pape with a 3-1. Irwin sends this to center field. Speaker going back, and it's the Tris Speaker show thus far. 2 up, 2 down. Second baseman Jack Farrell. Farrell with 2 RBI in this game. Pape. Base hit up the middle, and going for 2 is Jack Farrell. So the winning run is now in scoring position for Providence. 2 down. Charlie Sweeney now the pitcher at bat. Doubled back in the 9th inning, and would eventually score and tie this game at 6. Larry Pape looks over his right shoulder at Jack Farrell. Now ready to face his opposite number. The 0-1 to Charlie Sweeney. Curveball. This one bounced to first. Clyde Engel will take it 3 unassisted, and that retires Providence in the 10th. Let's move on to the 11th inning and a 6-6 tie in the deciding Game 5 between these 2 great teams. Will we see a pinch hitter for Larry Pape in Boston? We will indeed. Pinch Thomas coming in. We'll talk about Thomas here in a second. Maybe. Nope. Grounded to Farrell. On to Joe Start. So 1 out, and we're back at the top of the order now for the Red Sox and the Gray Eagle. So Speaker 1 for 4 in this game. Picked up an RBI in the 9th in that big Boston 5-run 9th. Charlie Sweeney sets and fires the 1-0. Speaker swings on the fastball. Hard hit to third. Jerry Denny sets and fires. This is going to be close. This one getting Joe Start unable to hold on to the ball. That's going to be an E5 on Jerry Denny. And the dangerous Tris Speaker now on at first. And Tris Speaker in 1912 stole 52 bases. Barney Gilligan, not a strong arm behind the plate. Larry Gardner is 1 for 3. 1 away, 6-6 your score here in the top of the 11th. Charlie Sweeney with a check of the runner. Larry Gardner, there goes Speaker, the throw down, and Tris Speaker is safe. The go-ahead run now in scoring position for Boston. Larry Gardner back in the box. The 1-0 from Charlie Sweeney. Curveball, and Gardner chops this one to second. Quick throw by Farrell on to Joe Start for out number 2. Tris Speaker advances to third on the play. And here is Clyde Engel making his first plate appearance in this game. He's 0 for 1 in the tournament. Sweeney from the stretch. Full count. And Engel, chopper to short. And Irwin to start, and that will retire the side. Boston threatens but do not score. And coming into pitch for the 1912 Boston Red Sox is Eddie Cicotte. Cicotte will face the number 9, 1, and 2 hitters for Providence in the bottom of the 11th. Paul Radford, Paul Hines, and Joe Start. Cicotte's numbers in 1912, a 5.6 earned run average for the Red Sox, 1 win, 3 losses, 46 innings pitched, 15 walks, 20 strikeouts. The American League hitting .319 against Cicotte. Seacott could have been a Hall of Famer, but for that little incident in 1919. All right, Radford 0 for 2. Eddie Seacott, knuckles ready to go. Here's the 0-2, and the floater comes in, and this one chopped to second. Steve Yerkes ranges to his right, fires on to Clyde Engel for out number 1. So Seacott going to see a lot of knuckleballs, some off-speed stuff from him. Paul Hines now 0 for 5, not doing his job as a leadoff hitter in this game. Seacott with the 0-2 to Hines. Floater, and Hines just waves at that little flutter ball. So 2 out, Seacott picks up the strikeout, and here's Joe Start, 2 for 4. A walk for him in this game. Seacott brings it to 3-0. Knuckler, this one missing, and Joe Start is aboard. The winning run is now on again for Providence. And here's Cliff Carroll, struck out back in the 9th in a similar situation. Yep, Shoeless Joe Jackson. Oh, Shoeless Joe Jackson, Nathaniel, absolutely 3rd highest batting average in baseball history. 356, just behind Hornsby at number 2 and Ty Cobb number 1. And Ken Castro calling for a steal. Seacott checks Start at first. Good lead at first for him. Here is the pitch. There goes Joe Start. Kerrigan comes up gunning, and they're not going to get Joe Start. The winning run is now in scoring position. All right. The count now 0-1 on Cliff Carroll. See what manager Castro, if he wants to try a steal for 3rd. Kerrigan, average arm behind the plate. Hit away. 8 still watching, and that is awesome. Thank you, guys. Eddie Seacott from the set, and the 0-1. And this one missing, ball 4. So the changeup missing by Seacott. 2 aboard now for Providence. Joe Start at 2nd, Cliff Carroll at 1st, and here's Barney Gilligan. Gilligan has 2 steals to his credit today. He's 1 for 5 at the plate. Seeing nothing here from Cousin Ken from the Providence, saying hit away. All right. Can Providence do it? Are we all gonna? We're gonna hear Cousin Ken do a Russ Hodges as he did in the 1951 shot heard round the world game. Seacott ready to go. Here's the 2-0. Curveball to Gilligan, base hit center field, and this game is over, and the Providence Grays battle back, and they dispatch the 1912 Boston Red Sox and win this one 7-6, spurred on, and I will say just as Ernie Harwell, by the disciplined leadership of Ken Castro. Let's look at the recap of this crazy game, and then we'll look at our playoff bracket. What a game. It took 11 innings, but Providence does it. The Grays win. The Grays win. The Grays win. The Grays win. There we go. I can't do a full-on Russ Hodges. Ooh, Providence shocks the world. And wow, wow, wow. So despite a big comeback 5-run 9th inning, the Providence Grays answer back in the bottom of the 9th to tie it at 6, and then hold Boston scoreless in the 10th and the 11th, and in the bottom of the 11th, wow. No offensive highlights for Boston, although I think there should be, considering that that 5-run 9th, but largely that was due to Radbourne kind of falling apart. So a lot of credit goes to Charlie Sweeney, who picks up the win. He goes to 1-1. Eddie Seacott tagged with the loss. And let's not forget, Sweeney inherited a 2-0 count with the bases loaded. So Charlie Sweeney doing it up right. Barney Gilligan in this game for Providence went 2 for 6 with a double and 2 stolen bases. Cliff Carroll 1 for 5 and 2 steals. Joe Start 2 for 4, 2 stolen bases. Um, Let me see. We had 1 second, please. All right. So as far as extra base hits go for Boston, there were 3 doubles. Larry Gardner, Jake Stahl, and Smokey Joe Wood. No triples. No triples in this game at all. 3 doubles for the victorious Grays. Barney Gilligan, Jack Farrell, and Charlie Sweeney. Let's look at pitching, and what a story we have here. Smokey Joe Wood went 8. Not one of his strongest performances. 5 hits, 5 runs, but only 1 was earned. So that is kind of figures prominently. Walked 2, struck out 5. He will go back home with an ERA of 2.45, nothing to sneeze at. Larry Pape came in for Boston and worked 2 innings in relief. Gave up 2 hits, a run, but it was not earned. Walked 1, struck out 1. Eddie Seacott worked 2/3 of an inning, and he is tagged with a loss. 1 run, and it was earned. Walked 2, struck out 1. Now, the pitching highlights both of these pitchers in their own way. Old Hoss Radbourn was dominant going into the 9th. 8 2/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 6 runs, only 1 earned run, walked 5, and struck out 12. His pitch count was 152, and he would advance to meet Ned Hanlon, Clinton Park's 1894 Baltimore Orioles with a 2.84 earned run average. Faced 38 hitters. Charlie Sweeney inherited 2 balls, no strikes count with the bases loaded. Pitched 2/3 of an inning and gave up a hit, a walk, and struck out 1 and gets the win. Look at our miscellaneous here. And look at the stolen bases. Look at the stolen bases here. This has been the story. So 2 stolen bases for the Boston Red Sox, Heine, Wagner, and Speaker. But Providence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stolen bases by the Providence Grays. Yeah, just there you go. RBI. Katie picked up 1. Larry Gardner. Duffy Lewis with 2 RBI in the game. Speaker with 1. Steve Yerkes for Boston. For Providence, Jerry Denny. Jack Farrell with 2. Barney Gilligan with 1. And Old Hoss picked up an RBI as well. Sacrifice hits by Larry Gardner and Paul Radford. Great play by Paul Hines. Paul Hines also with an outfield assist. Boston stranded 9. Providence stranded 8. Boston turned a double play. Barney Gilligan gets the game-winning RBI. And yes, of course, the most valuable player should be Old Hoss Radbourn. Holy hell, what a game that was. We are now set for round 3. This is a best of 7. The 1894 Baltimore Orioles and the 1884 Providence Grays will lock up there. And the other game will be the 1908 Cleveland Naps and the 1907 Chicago Cubs. Clinton says this will be easy looking forward to the headhunters of 1894. Ken Castro says, just curious, how will the game handle Radbourn in the next round since he pitched every day, every other day? That'll be interesting to see, Ken. That will be interesting to see. So, so what we can do if you guys really want to manage against each other, um, is one of you, you're gonna have to do the honor system. One of you could, we could have one of you just messaging me in Discord. We'll figure this out. We'll have to work out the logistics. Maybe Steve has a good idea for this because one of you will have to um, message me in Discord, and one of you will have to, and the honor system, you're not going to be able to look at the game on YouTube. You have to listen to it or hide the chat. That's the way we can do it. Or and unfortunately, since you guys don't play Action PC baseball, the easy way would be to let you guys play this head to head, and we broadcast it on the channel. But you guys don't play Action PC, so I'm going to talk to Steve Tate and see what answers, what solutions he can come up with. This will be a best of 7, so this is going to test both of those teams. And I will just say this, just as by way of whatever. The 1885 White Stockings had a bye in the first round, um, and they dropped their series 3 games to 2 to the Baltimore Orioles. But Game 5 was tamed all through Game 4. It was just back and forth. I kept referring to it as a war, and indeed it was. So I think that is going to be, of the two teams, I think the Baltimore Providence game or series is going to be a lot crazier than the dead ball one. So. What McGreevy rule? We could do the McGreevy rule actually, Robbie. That's a great idea. We could use the McGreevy rule so the home manager will get to make full managerial decisions. The visiting manager can only make substitutions. So that's what we'll do. But till we work this out, the next time we return to this tournament, we're actually going to start with the 1907 Cubs and 1908 Naps because I really want to iron this out and get it right. And Cousin Ken, did you ever think we'd get something this far to where we would have two 19th century teams facing off? And even more compelling, the 1894 Baltimore Orioles are a modern baseball team against one that is not considered modern baseball, and yet Providence took care of Boston 3 games to 2. This has been fun. I'm so glad, and this was just because we wanted to keep McGreevy going. And I know we just dropped to 7, but we peaked at one point in this crazy madness at 10. Thank you, and still 7 hanging around. And in this community that really likes a lot of season replays and baseball where they've actually seen the players play, absolutely flattered, sincerely flattered that you've hung around through all of this. Thank you. So that's pretty much it. You can't even follow this up. I can't. I was thinking maybe just let MLB the show do something after this, but you can't follow what Providence just did there. So that'll be all the baseball for tonight. We can chat some baseball for a few minutes here if you guys would like, but yeah, I'm not going to follow this game with something else. There's no way. Let it marinate, right? So let's check MLB. Like actually in today's MLB, I know my Pirates lost again. Robbie's Rangers fall 5-3 to the Yanks. I know that doesn't make him happy. Ken's Phillies edge the Mets 7-6. My Pirates 2-0 against Miami. Life sucks. And the Milwaukee Brewers go 5-4. How did Cincinnati do? They lost to Atlanta 7-6. So what is the deal with the standings here, man? Yeah. Um. Oh man, Milwaukee is just a half game behind Cincinnati, and Cincinnati has lost 2 after that big tear they were on. Texas has lost 2, and they'll next face the Detroit Tigers. Wow. And it just keeps on going for those Tampa Bay Rays. In their last 10, they're what, 5-5? What a season. Oh, thank you, cousin. He says, hell of a job you did tonight. Thank you. And Robbie's saying, great game. So, Nathaniel, I'm curious. You said that you're not used to these baseball sims. What sort of baseball stuff or have you done on PC, or have you been a cards and dice player? Just kind of curious. Or has it been like sort of MLB The Show, but arcade type stuff? Just kind of curious, man, because you seem to have some pretty good baseball knowledge. So coming up on the channel, of course, will be this, and actually, Game One will be tomorrow evening, 1907 Chicago Cubs, 1908 Cleveland Naps. That'll be tomorrow night. But also coming up the channel, some more baseball for Windows during the day. At least for the next week and a half, I can do those games till I start my own daytime job again. Um, so there will be that. We're going to continue with the 1915 World Series. The 1934 season coming up. Got the 1971 World Series on the back burner for the more modern among us, among you, whichever. And the decade teams. So we did a triple header yesterday with that set. And then Wednesday, we'll be showing off the updated baseball history collection. That'll be released Wednesday. Guys, if you have Action PC and you've bought it before, you put in that code, which I forgot to do like an idiot. Still got it for a decent price. It's $24 for every retired player in baseball, rated on peak slice of his career. Um, so you might want to think about jumping on that for $24. 18,000 players. Come on. So a bunch of stuff coming up on the channel. That's baseball related. Non-baseball, um, you just have to see. Okay, so you're just getting back into baseball sims. Plenty of them. I also, hopefully, you have joined or will join our Discord. Love to have you as part of the family here. This isn't just about old time baseball either. So you can post about games you're doing, games you're liking, what you're thinking of the season thus far. Um, and it's not just about Action PC baseball either. Robbie Wartburg posts stuff from Baseball for Windows. For instance, he was doing some stuff from Diamond Mind earlier. If you roll up cards and dice, Clinton Parks does these really nice printouts of box scores and post them in Facebook. Feel free, or just to talk about. Okay, so you joined last stream. All right, well, next one you're in, you get the wrench. You can put in some links to baseball sites, anything you want, and that's always fun too because I've found some great baseball sites thanks to this community, and one that I tout a lot. And you know what? We'll just end it with just talking about a really, really cool site that I think you guys really, really should get into. Um, and I think it was Todd. Was it Todd? Anyhow, it's a great site called Back to Baseball. And no, I don't know the person or people who run it. So you can go back and there's so much you can do. Backtobaseball.com, and you should really, really, really play with this. So what we're going to look at here tonight is just go to simulation. So what you can do here in simulation is you can take two teams in history, baseball history, and match them up against each other, and this thing will run 5,000 simulations. It will show you the results of the first 25, but it will give you the results of those 5,000 simulations. So, for instance, let's pick our home team. Now, the caveat to this is this only goes back because of available game data. This only goes back to 1921, but because most of the people here are actually digging old time baseball, but we'll do something modern here. So let's take Robbie's Rangers of 2011 as the home team, just as for shits and giggles, and of course the 2011 St. Louis Cardinals. No, let's do the the Blue Jays? No, Cardinals. We'll do the Cardinals first. St. Louis Cardinals. All right. And there's so much more you can do with this, by the way. All right, so here we go. We can view the lineups here. So you can change the lineups, of course, if you want in this. All right. But we're just going to go with what it has here. So, but again, you can just drag these guys up and down however you want. All right. So the 2011 Cardinals and the 2011 Rangers, and this is going to do 5,000 simulations. And there's John DFW. So here we go. And oh my God, seriously? Did it just get knocked out? There we go. So 5,000 simulations, the results are in, and the Texas Rangers, out of 5,000 simulations, won 60% of the time. About it. And the Cardinals 39% of the time. So that's one of the many, many things you can do in back to baseball. You can go to players if you want. You can go to games, individual games. Want to find a game? Find a game. You could today. You could look and like catch games. It's fun. Can't do those in the tournament, Robbie. As I just said, this only goes back to 1921. So it'd be kind of hard to do 1884 and 1894. But I do appreciate the enthusiasm. Let's pick two more. Let's pick a team. Let's go back to one of our favorite ones, 1929, because we love those Philadelphia Athletics. And we're going to see how they did. How the Philadelphia Athletics. Right, so right now you could just look at the scores of these games. So this is their entire schedule. That's okay. And I can click on that game. But how did they do against the New York Yankees? Because they put a hurting on the Yankees that year, didn't they? So these are the series the games that they played against the New York Yankees in 1929. I can pick any one of these. So let's click on June 21st, 1929. Okay. Let's try that again. Yeah, so here are the results. So the Yankees took, or the Athletics beat the Yankees in the first game of a doubleheader that day, 11-1, and the Yankees took the nightcap 8-3. You can click on any one of these games, view the lineups and summaries. You can get a text play-by-play or an audio play-by-play, visual play-by-play. So the audio play-by-play is done by a Microsoft narrator. I should warn you. Um, but even the text play-by-play, and you can go to individual plays. So I could look up Al Simmons and see what he did, and I'll show you that too. I love this site. So I'm not going to kill you with the text or the audio. So visual play-by-play. You're going to get the play-by-play down there, and there we go. We see, yeah, Max Bishop grounds out for the first out of the inning, and this will do the whole game. It will do the whole game. It's so fun. You can also fast forward through the game, what have you. You can also just do a text. Let's go to players, and let's pick Lou Gehrig. And so with Lou Gehrig, we can see, right, 493 home runs. Well, when did he hit his first home run? Well, I learned from this that actually Jimmy Fox didn't hit his first home run until he was, 1925 was his rookie season. Jimmy Fox didn't hit his first home run until 1927. So here we got Lou Gehrig. Looks like his rookie year was 1939. Or no, I mean 1923. I'm sorry. My eyes are getting bzzz. So he had a home run in 1923, but not 1924. Who did he hit this home run off of? Let's look. All right. So we got Gehrig. We're doing this play search here, and what we have to do is we just pick home run, and we can go from here and look at that play date, the whole thing. Let you guys just actually go through it and have fun. So the pitcher and the team. And I think this thing's having a bit of a heart attack right now. So, but you can do play type for home runs and find matching plays. and then you'll get them. So you can also follow a player's career, go to teams, as I've said. You can look at anybody you want, look at their whole history, have fun with it. There it is. Great way to revisit baseball. Again, only goes back to 1921, but that's a lot of baseball to look at. You want to go back and look at a particular game? You can. You can. Again, do it. Play with back to baseball. It's really 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 fun. An embarrassment of riches. I guess that does it, guys. Not a lot of baseball chatter in here, so do check it out. And yeah, with that, we're going to start saying our good nights. Yeah, it would have been a fun predictor, Robbie, but again, as we go back in time, more and more, um, as more and more stats become available, we'll be able to see more of that. But again, covering just baseball at that time. So here we're looking at on this day. Well, let's pick what is today. What is the date today? I can't see. It's the 26th. So what went on in 1971? So there we go. Boom, boom, boom. And I can go to any one of these games, anything here, and do them, look at them. So there's the 1971 season. There it is. And then you can narrow it down by team and what have you. Hey, hey, there is D. Scott Howard. Welcome in, D. Scott. Good to see you. It's been far too long. Um, so noteworthy games in 1971 over here. It's not the most well-designed site, but it's brilliant. How many 3+ home run games were there in 1971? Well, we can even view the games. How many 10+ strikeout games were there? How many 4 more hits? Well, that's going to be a ton. How many 4+ extra base hits in 1971? Um, two games. So um, just I don't know. I would say have fun with it. So this one was the Cincinnati Reds, San Diego Padres. It was an 11-3 score. It was Hal McRae. Hal McRae, and we can actually go to this game and we can look at the box score. We can just look at the lineups and summary, which there it is. But if we look at the box score, which everybody loves, and use control in your mouse wheel, bring it up here so you guys can see it. There's Hal McRae. So Hal McRae went 5 for 5 that day with 3 runs, including a run batted in. So McRae raising some hell that day. Um, had a home run and doubled like a madman. 3 doubles. So then up here you have the entire game. You can go to specific plays. So I could go to Brown takes first on ball 4, whatever. This is a great, great, great research tool. Um, so it is backtobaseball.com. I don't know who runs the site. I wish I knew. And then you can go to Baseball Reference for a more complete box score if you wanted. But what a nice adjunct. But if you want to get super granular, so here we go. We just do an easy one here. Chris Spezio hits a ball on the ground towards third. Perez fields it. We can just go to that play, and it'll pick up the game from that play. So there, or Ed Spezio, I'm sorry. Perez has it. He's out, and then the game will just continue from there if you want. If I want to, I can go to the 6th. And there we go. Pete Rose, line drive base hit. So D. Scott, he says, quite a rabbit hole. How many times did Hank Aaron home run with 1 out in the 7th? And show me the box score for each one. It is a rabbit hole. And D. Scott Howard says you had to self-edit. And of course, if you have StatHead, which is the kind of paid version of Baseball Reference, you can do that as we just watch this game. Oh, Lee May. It's a home run. How about that? So, D. Scott Howard says he may have pulled a muscle. All right, guys. I guess that is it. That is it. That is it. Oh, I'm always loath to say goodbye, but that's what we're going to do. Let me just see if anybody else is doing anything in the community before I let you go. Usually this is an Al Red Sox fan night, but not seeing them here. So, all right. Uh, 2 hours and 11 minutes. I should be able to get everybody. Thank you to Dave Scott Howard, to Robbie Wertberg, who was first in the park tonight. Heart and soul with his channel, cousin Ken Castro. John DFW, thank you again for all the work that you do in our Discord and being part of the community. Nathaniel Lentz, I'm sorry, Nathaniel, thank you for coming in and hanging out with us and hanging out with cousin Ken. Clinton Parks, thank you very much. The professor. And now got to go through all this. Todd B was hanging out with us for a while at the ballpark tonight. Christopher Slovic was here. Thank you, Christopher. Christopher doing that Creators Cup and does other sports as well, but Creators Cup in baseball. Good stuff. Does that with Out of the Park baseball, by the way. And who else do we have? Dan Burke was with us for a little while. Thank you, Dan. Bernard Strom, check out his channel. Waiting. I don't know when his next broadcast is going to be. And he talks about having to work with the program Action PC to really fill out all the intricacies of Action PC. You do. It's a very complex program, but it is worth the time. Mark Roberts was with us tonight at the ballpark. Thank you very much, Mark. I think we got everybody. Yes, we did. All right. Nice night all around. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow night for the Cleveland Naps and the Chicago Cubs. And till then, have fun. Roll up some games. Oh, Ken Castro saying, franchise bats continues tomorrow. It's the Washington Senators and the Philadelphia/Kansas City Athletics, a 2-game set. That should be a good one. I'm going to put my money on the A's, I think, unless Walter Johnson's starting one of those games. So, all right, guys, roll them up, have fun, hang out in the Discord, check out this great sports gaming community that we have here on YouTube. And until then, see you around the batting cage.